Welcome back. My name is Fat Beater Producer for fatbeaterproducer.com. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to have the best recording possible when preparing files or material for your recording engineer. So let's start with acoustic treatment. So a lot of people don't know, but it's not just about the material. It's not just about the equipment you're using. It's also acoustics is a real big factor in using your in producing your music. Yes, you'll be spending money on a good computer, a good sound card, a good condenser microphone, and all this stuff. But there's also, you can't pass by the fact that you're going to need some acoustic treatment for your room. And also there's like a logic into how you're going to be placing your speakers in the room and all of this stuff, you know, your mic, what are you going to put on the walls. There's also a difference between soundproofing and acoustic treatment. So let's start with acoustic treatment versus soundproofing. So soundproofing is where you're going to be doubling up your walls, making them soundproof. So that would be to make sure that the sound that you're producing in the studio room is not going to come out, is not going to leak outside of your studio, outside of your facility. So to do that, there's multiple ways. You could look it up on YouTube. You could go and check it out. There's multiple ways of achieving that. But you have to remember that sound is produced by the air. It is a wave. Whenever you talk or speak or whatever sound is made is a vibration. It's a wave that travels through the air and that reaches your ear, that activates the mechanism in your ear that's decoded by your brain. And that's what makes you hearing that sound. Same thing for microphones. They have a mechanism that detects the sound waves that flow through the air, and it goes in there and it's detected and it produces a polarization, which is computed and sent through the sound card and then to the computer, and that's what produces the sound. That's what makes the recording be recorded into the computer. So this is it. So like to soundproof, you must make sure that the air is not able to flow to the outside of your room. Anyways, there's multiple videos on that on YouTube. You could check it out for yourself. Just look for soundproofing or studio soundproofing, and that'll give you a good idea on how to soundproof your room if soundproofing is your issue. And then the next thing is the thing that most like home studio are gonna be using much more than soundproofing, because like soundproofing, you can't really soundproof. It's harder for someone to soundproof if they're not like in their own property. Like if they're renting or something, like sometimes you might get in trouble if you start like soundproofing your studio and you're renting it out. You know, you don't want to start doing like construction like in a place that you're renting, you know. So that's a little disclaimer right there. Like, do not try to soundproof in a destructive manner like a rental property. Anyway, so that's it. So to get back to acoustic panels, there's many cheap ways to achieve that. The whole point is acoustic treatment. Since like we go back to what I was saying, the sound that's created by waves, those waves, well, they can bounce off things. Mostly like G-Proc walls or wooden walls and stuff like that. Whenever like you have like a regular house and stuff like that, there's a possibility, and most likely all the time, the sound you produce when you're recording will bounce off the walls. It notably bounces really good off of G-Proc walls, which is like 80%, like a big percentage of like houses have that material on their walls. So to stop that, there's multiple ways to do it. Like I call it the hustle and flow way. There's multiple ways to do it in a cheap, very cheap manner. You could use like the 12 by 12 egg cartons that you put all over the walls. It's very easy to get. You can go to any grocery store or restaurant, mostly like restaurants who do like breakfasts. You could go see the guy in the back. That's what I did. You know, like I started off like that. Like I went and saw like a restaurant. I'm like, yo, I go see the guy. I'm like, you guys have, you guys use a lot of, you guys have a lot of egg cartons, the 12 by 12 egg cartons. You know, it's like the thing to hold the 30 eggs. They get a lot of eggs because they make breakfast. So most likely they get those egg cartons and they throw them away. So instead of like throwing it away, you just tell them like, listen, I'll come every Saturday or whatever, whenever you can go. I'll come this day of the week and I'll come and pick them up. Just keep them for me. And that's a free way to get acoustic treatment material for your studio. And you can use that. You don't necessarily have to cover the whole wall. You could do like a checker pattern. That's what I did in my studio. You put it in a checker pattern. So you make like a checker board type setup on your wall with those egg cartons. And then you'll be able to cut the sound, because what happens is that instead of the sound made by your voice, it'll dissipate as soon as it hits the texture of the egg carton on the wall. It'll dissipate on it because the sound wave is not gonna hit a flat surface and then bounce back. Since there's like little spikes in the egg carton, well, you're gonna have the sound dissipate on the spikes, and the cardboard material absorbs way better that sound wave. So that's gonna cut your sound from like bouncing off and coming back into the mic, you know. So that's gonna make it so that your voice only comes into the mic directly, and there's no more secondary sound sources of your voice coming back into the mic. Then there's also the foam panels that you can buy on Amazon. That's very easy to find. Just put in Soundfoam acoustic panel. Just look that up, and you'll be able to find that. There's also, I don't know if I can show you this, the Outtron, which you put your mic through the bottom and it goes in, and there's a pop filter on it. So there's also stuff like your Outtron, which what it does is it adds, the foam surrounds your mic, which will basically help by deadening the sound directly on the microphone. And since it's got a built-in pop filters, your P's and your T's, which are very aggressive sound waves, will be toned down. There's also like the most popular one. I use the Outtron PF8. There's also the most popular one is the Chaotic Eyeball, which is very, very good too. I have one of the guys that works with me, Just Hits. He basically has it and he loves it, you know. So that's another way. So if you have both, if you've got your panels on the wall and you have portable foam ball that goes on the mic, and you're good, you know. Another way to see if your room has been well treated with acoustic treatment is to clap your hands as such. And if you hear echo of your claps, That means you still have to put more panels on the wall to make sure that it's dead. You know, you don't want it to be too dead. You don't want to feel like you're in a vacuum, but you want your room to breathe a little bit, but you know, you want to put enough so that there's no like weird little side echoes coming into your mic. So I think that resumes it for today. If ever I realize afterwards that there's more stuff I could have told you guys, I'm going to make a part 2 of this video. But this is basically it. Acoustic treatments, very important. As much as the equipment you buy to record, which is also important, but like acoustic treatment, it's very, very important. You want to have that nice, crisp voice for your recordings, especially your vocals, so that then you can do whatever you want to it without having the unwanted roomy sound into it. So that's basically it. I'll make a second video to talk about how to place your studio, how to place yourself in the room for your studio, but that'll be for later. I'm gonna make a video for that. But I think you guys have what you need for today for acoustic treatment for your recordings. All right, signing out. Don't forget to like and subscribe videos for people on YouTube. And that's it, man. Really happy to make those videos.